Kevin, is this one of those games where obviously desperate to get a win instead of to not fall down 3-1 and having to grind one out against a team that's obviously playing at a desperation level?
Yeah, you know this team never they gonna stick around the whole game. You know, they never out of a game. Well, how well coached they are, how hard they play, and the penetrators and creators they got on their team, they're never out the game. So I think we did a solid job of staying poised, especially coming out the third. We were just terrible to start the third, and and we was able to, get some momentum back after that timeout. So I felt like, it was a back and forth battle. They throw punches, we throw punches, and luckily we came out with the last one.
Curious looking at Chris and the way he played in the fourth quarter. Monty thought it was the first time in a while that all three of you were in go mode because it's kind of been trying to figure out who does what. So how big was that for not only you three to be in that mode, but then him to play the way he did?
Yeah, it's definitely good when we all three aggressive and trying to make plays and trying to play fast. And I think tonight we all did a solid job. And, we're still growing. We're still trying to learn each other. We're still trying to figure out the best way for us to operate around each other. So, but it always helps when the shots go in. So we made some big shots tonight. Book and made some big shots. So, it's always good when the shots go in.
To that point about the shot making, Monty's talked a lot about how in the playoffs sometimes it just comes down to being able to get a bucket and stop your guy from getting one. How have you guys liked the balance as far as, getting your shots and hitting shots like that third quarter, but also keeping the ball moving a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's you want to guard your yard, guard your guy, and then if you get an opportunity to be aggressive on the offensive side of the ball, don't hesitate. So, yeah, that's just the name of the game. They know your plays. They're taking away a lot of your sets. They're playing more physical, so you got to fend for yourself out there sometimes. And it's going to go back between being the team game and maybe an individual game here and there. So I think we do a good job of having a balance between both. We got good ISO scores and we played well as a team.
Kev, I think you've played 40 minutes in 13 straight playoff games now. Is it, I think 44, 45 tonight. Is that something you could handle at this stage or this early in the playoffs, or is it you need to pace yourself?
How'd I look tonight? I felt great. But I missed a lot of time this season. So, yeah, I want to be out there every minute. I wish I could play 48 every game.
Quick pop. LeBron's always said when he plays a lot of minutes, it's actually training to play a lot of minutes in the playoffs. Like, this is when you want to play a lot.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you are in the same way?
Yeah, I mean, you want to be out there. You don't want to sit on the bench. I mean, everybody want to be out there in the action. So regardless, sometimes you might be tired. You just fight through it. But we got such a great training staff, coaching staff. They always monitor us. Monty always come to me and ask me if I wanted to come out. So, they always on top of it. If I feel like I need a break, I'll take one.
Kevin, Monty mentioned the other day that you were getting frustrated by the physicality that the Clippers were trying to get you with, but how have you been using getting to the foul line to combat that a bit?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was frustrated from the fouling, but they doing a good job of sending the two at me in my spots. I see a small guy in the post, I want to go to work right there, and then I see somebody else coming over to help. So yeah, that may be a little frustrating, but physicality, I mean, every time I step on the court, whether it's a pickup game or NBA game, somebody gonna be physical with me because of my stature. So I've been playing through that since I was 8 years old, so it ain't nothing different, but it's just trying to figure out what's the best way for us to be efficient. Sometimes I get a little frustrated when we don't play efficient basketball.
Dana next, and Melissa. Right here.
Kevin, Monty just mentioned that he's never heard as much criticism for an MVP player as much as Russ gets. I mean, what do you think about that? Have you spoken to him about that criticism?
About Russ? No, not about criticism. I mean, people going to always criticize when you're successful and doing your thing for this long. It's probably going to always find something that they don't like about you. But Russ has been resilient his whole life. He come to work, don't say much, just come hoop. So, you know, when he retired, people gonna really tell the truth about how they feel about his game. Right now, it's a fun thing to do is to make a joke out of Russ. But he you know, the way he's been playing is since he got with the Clippers, showed everybody who he really is.
I feel like the only people to do that too is the people who don't know basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And don't know what it's like to compete. I know for me, Russ is one of my closest friends. You know what I'm saying? And so people that do that and talk crazy probably wish they could be in that situation. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Chris wanted just to ask about the shot that you took. Did you think the shot clock was about to expire on that?
Absolutely. I didn't know the ball had been.
But that obviously the fourth quarter, the way you played, just maybe just speak to that and how you've done it before, but to be able to, after a game the other night, to be able to come back and have that kind of game.
Yeah, just playing this game for a long time. You know, we learn in different ways. We seeing, you know, I never played with this much talent. You know what I'm saying? Where people are doubling off of me. Like I said last game, I never shot that many open shots. So it's something that I'm getting used to, trying to figure out when to pick your spots, when to be aggressive, and we're figuring this thing out on the fly. We're just happy that you know, a few of them fell tonight.
Last three, go right there.
Kevin, I know you've been asked variations of this, but this would have been the sixth time that you and Kawhi would have played against each other in a playoff series, which is what you see kind of, you know, historically legends are made of, you know, back and forth and all that. From a competitive standpoint, how disappointing is it that, you know, for the third time in a row now, you guys aren't able to have that head-to-head?
I'm more disappointed that Kawhi is injured again, you know, more so than the matchup. Obviously, that's always fun playing against an all-time great, but I don't know Kawhi that well, but he seems like he loves the game, loves to play, just loves to hoop on this stage, especially around the playoffs. So I'm more disappointed for him that, you know, he's not out there doing something that he loves. But it's also fun, you know, getting a chance to compete against him. Well, not fun, but it's a challenge getting a chance to compete against somebody like Kawhi. So I hope he gets back out there soon and him and PG get back healthy soon.
Why is it fun?
Man, see how he plays. You know,
Tough.
He's tough. You got to be ready every possession. You know, so it's nerve-wracking. You know, if that's the word I can use.
Right here.
I want to ask both of you. Monty was talking about how, and you guys are veterans, obviously, how in the playoffs when you have these very short turnaround periods, that maybe you won't run a lot. That there's some sports science people that are telling you how much you're running, how much you aren't. Are you guys in the back of your mind a bit aware of that as well?
Man, we love to play basketball. You know what I mean? And what year is this for you, Kate?
16.
16. This is my 18th year. You don't get here just sitting on your ass. You know what I mean? You work. And so that's been the coolest thing about working out with Kay every day and with Book. You know, we work. And so we do all the work during the season, during the summer, and all that for these moments. I think the analytics and all the optics of the game, the first thing everybody look at is the minutes. You know what I mean? You got to actually watch the game. You know, there may be a 4-minute, 5-minute stretch where we just out there sort of occupying while Book going to work. You know what I mean? So it's not just everybody, oh, how many minutes did they play? It's how was the minutes? And I think that's where we communicate and we talk and we be like, yo, how you feel? How you feel? And we pros, so we just try to figure it out.
Thanks. Moment of last one.
Hey Chris, I've seen you have fourth quarters like that in this building before, but when you're just looking at how this team is playing, like, you don't have to do that for this team, right? You said this is the most talent you've ever played with. When do you decide, like, okay, I need to score 12 points in the fourth quarter like that? And how's the game going?
I don't think you decide that. I think the way the third quarter started, I was pissed. We all was. We was on the bench sort of going at each other, you know, but it's healthy, you know, and just tried to get us going, and I tried to get myself going defensively, you know what I mean? And so the shots, they're gonna come. We practice all day long. We practice for those situations, and so when they come, you know, you live with the results.
Thanks, Gavin.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Gotta watch the game. Cool, sorry.
I my pocket. I'm like, yo, did she get it right? Okay, good.
Let's get ready for Hoop Jab.